Hello my friends, it's lesson 11 and this week we're looking at the difference between majors and minors and the different sounds that it makes. We're going to start on page 36 and do number 175 and 176. These are in the key of concert C, and a key that we're very comfortable with after some weeks of playing these scales. Then we're going to go over to page 37 and play 181 and 182. These are in the key of concert C minor. So the sound will be a little more exotic and less Ferris wheel and merry-go-round. All right, think more spice, a little bit of heat, a little bit of darkness. As you play this week, I would like you to listen to the songs that we play earlier in the book and decide whether they are major or minor, and be aware of what you're playing in. Okay, so as the scale comes up, do 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 do, or do do da 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 dee da. All right, so let's get back to the good stuff. So we're back to page 26 and it is the good stuff. We're doing 129, the Can-Can. This is a piece by Offenbach, who was a French composer from the Romantic period. Now this key, this song is in the key of concert, can you tell? Concert B flat. Look at your first note and you should be able to play your scale up and down. It has in the yellow box above accelerando and it says gradually faster. It's a bit tricky with this one to get it fast just in those last line, so I suggest you put a repeat in and the second time actually play it double tempo and then get faster. Alright, so lots of fun. You'll see that it has a scale at the end of the first line, and that's one of the ways you'll be able to play this confidently when you see those runs of notes, because you know them. So that is 129. High kicks over your head, everyone. The Can-Can. And now it's time for 130, the Tarantella. Tarantella is an Italian dance, and Wikipedia tells me that it comes from the province of Trento. So over to page 27 and it's 130, the Tarantella. The Tarantella is an Italian dance and Wikipedia tells me that it's named after a spider from the area of Trento, and their wolf spiders are called, can you guess? Tarantulas. And if you're bitten by this spider, you become, what was the word? Was popularly believed highly venomous to lead to hysterical condition known as tarantism. So I don't know how to dance a tarantella, but I guess it must be fairly hysterical. All right, so our tarantella is in a key that you need to decide, major or minor. You can tell by the first or last note in this song will be your tonic, the name of the scale you're going to play. And I'd like you to figure it out. Do 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 do. It's quite exotic. In 6/8 time with an anacrusis. You can go through that and figure it out. I'm sure you can. Watch out for those rests. Ba ba da 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 da. Keep it light. imagine you've been bitten by a spider, so I guess it'll have to go faster. Yeah, tarantella. This Emperor's Waltz is written by our friend Mr. Johann Strauss Jr., or the second as he's often known. He was the Andre Rieu of his time, and we know him more likely from the Blue Danube or Tales from the Vienna Woods. With this one, our tonic is not the first note, it is going to be the last note. So when you're figuring out what key you're in, it starts on the third, so you have to go to the end, and that's going to start on the first one. We're in 3, and we have andantino, and it says tempo between andante and moderato. I remember in my theory it was yeah, moderately but not as slow as andante. It's just silly. So yeah, andantino is the tempo that we've been given. So you're going to figure out whether it's in major or minor by listening to it when you play it. 2 note slurs and second time and first time bars, dynamic contrasts, and I think you will enjoy this one very much. So that is 131, the Emperor Waltz. Moving on down the page, we're at 132, and it is the English dance duet. You may have someone that you can play with, fingers crossed. If not, there's always the backing track. In the yellow box, it tells us that it is an legato style, so smooth and connected. I went to a conference once and they were talking about different ways to describe legato, and I enjoyed the visualization of being sitting next to a bath and putting your hand in warm water and running it backwards and forwards, and that was legato. I also like melted chocolate because that is also but a bit more messy. All right, so we have this English dance duet, and it's in 6/8 time, and you're going to go to the first note for your scale. Or will it be minor? You'll have to figure that one out. As the week goes on, I'm sure you will have figured it out. Now, it's written by Johann Christian Bach. Now, not Sebastian, but it is his 18th child. Yes, his very last son. And although Johann Sebastian stayed very close to home in his life, Johann Christian did move around a bit. So he went to Italy and then settled in London. And so this is in the English style. And very different than our waltz and our tarantella and our can-can. Can you see that there's been a little theme here? Yes, so in 6/8 time, dum, hum, dee, dum, dee, hum, dee, dum, dee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hum, dee, dum, dee, hum, dee, dum, dee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful stuff. The English Dance by Johann Christian Bach, the younger son of Johann Sebastian. And 33 is the Essential Elements quiz, the British Grenadiers, and this is our recording assignment for this week. What I would like you to do is to play it for me with the backing track, or a metronome if you prefer. Has first and second time bars and a whole pile of other things. I look forward to hearing your rendition. All right, the British Grenadiers. Boom, 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 bee, dum, doo, doo, doo. So we're over the page, and it's 134 NASA bound. We're going to play this one because we can. Moving on down the page, we are at 135, and it's the Unfinished Symphony theme by Franz Schubert. Now, the big question has been for many years, was it finished or not? Symphonies are traditionally 3 or 4 movements long, and this one was only 2. And so historians wonder, whether he finished it. Franz gave it to his buddy before he died, like 3 years, to try and sell it off. And his friend didn't, and kept it for another 37 years until he then showed it to someone and said, "What do you think about this?" And they said, "Oh, it's pretty good. Shame it's only got 2 movements." But the second movement does finish with an upbeat, and it's happy, and so, it could be just the way he wanted it. He didn't want it to be any longer. It is a terrific piece of music. If you don't know it, I suggest, if you've got an hour or so, to just put on some good music and listen. This is a great piece. I enjoy listening to it in the car especially. Your key, when you do your scale, will start on the first note, and so that will be fun. And so that is, the Unfinished Symphony. Enjoy the slurs. They are very, very important, and as are the accidentals, and remember, they last for a whole bar. And so now for this week's second recording assignment. Oh, that's exciting, isn't it? It is 198 on page 40, and it's the individual study. Each instrument has a piece that is perfect for them. So in the bass clarinet book, it has a bourrée from the French suite, and my memory is that the bass guitar might have Hall of the Mountain King, maybe? Anyway, so you don't have to worry about the piano accompaniment, but there is I would like to hear you play it this week, and then I'll give you some feedback, and then we'll record it again next week and see if you can improve on what you did the first time. So yes, it's 198, the individual study. Plenty of things to look at there. Don't worry too much if it's not fabulous the first time, because we want to improve, okay, for the next week. So just send me your best attempt that you can, maybe by Wednesday. So it's time to go shopping. Have you downloaded the app Rhythm Swing? I know Ralph has been getting very frustrated with it, but it is such a good app for you to work on your rhythms. Have you noticed that it changes each time when you do it? All right, so that's what I would like you to work on, your Rhythm Swing app. I would like you to get 3 stars on the first level, and then send me a screenshot. Do you know how to do that? I reckon you do. Ask your grandchildren if you don't. Or 2 stars, or 1 star. I want you to try anyway. See you soon.